In November 2025, in the shadows of Nigeria's military elites, a dangerous plan was already in motion. A plan that, if successful, would have changed Nigeria forever. The target is the Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the mission was to seize power, eliminate leadership, take control of Africa's largest democracy. But what really happened? Who were the men behind the plot, and how close did Nigeria come to another military takeover? Every coup begins the same way, not with gunfire but with whispers. According to investigations, the plot started quietly inside the Nigerian military, not among junior soldiers but among high-ranking officers. By late September 2025, intelligence began picking up unusual signals, secret meetings, unusual movements, and conversations about change. Then something unexpected happened. A whistleblower inside the military stepped forward. He contacted senior leadership, fearing he could be implicated if he stayed silent. At the same time, Nigeria's intelligence agency, the DSS, had already begun tracking suspicious activity. The message was clear: something dangerous was unfolding. This wasn't a rebellion of outsiders, it was an operation from within. At least 16 military officers were later identified: a brigadier general, a colonel, multiple lieutenant colonels, majors, captains, and others. Those leading the alleged plots was Brigadier General Musa Abubakar Sadiq and Colonel M.A. Maaji. Authorities believed Sadiq was the central figure. Maaji acted as a key strategist, and most of the officers came from the Infantry Corps, Nigeria's frontline combat unit, meaning these were not desk officers, these were battle-trained commanders. This was not just a coup, it was a coordinated assassination plot. According to reports, the plan included killing President Tinubu, eliminating Vice President Kashim Shettima, targeting Senate leadership, arresting top military commanders, and even shocking more, the conspirators allegedly acquired 32 vehicles for covert operations, planned a rapid takeover of Abuja. Their ultimate objective is to decapitate the leadership and then seize control of the Nigerian state. At the heart of the alleged conspiracy was a plan to overrun the presidential villa in Abuja, Nigeria's most fortified political stronghold, and capture President Tinubu along with Vice President Kashim Shettima. Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Speaker Tajuddin Abbas were also to be captured and possibly eliminated. Investigators say specific officers were detailed to lead the assault on the villa, forming what sources described as the decapitation unit of the operation. The alleged plan extended beyond political leaders to include key security figures such as National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, then Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun, and State Security Service Director General Adeola Ajayi, all of whom were marked as high-value targets. According to the premium newspaper, multiple reliable insiders, the operation was structured like a full-scale military takeover, with units assigned to seize strategic installations simultaneously. While one team moved on the presidential villa, another was tasked with taking control of the Niger Barracks, a critical military formation overlooking the presidential villa and housing the country's top military chiefs. There, specific officers were allegedly assigned to eliminate top-ranking officers, including the Chief of Defense Staff and service chiefs. Additional units were designated to capture the armed forces of Nigeria complex in the Garki district of the nation's capital and secure the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, effectively cutting off both military coordination and escape routes. One senior security source described the plan as highly coordinated with clear command structures targets and timelines, suggesting it went far beyond a loose conspiracy. Investigators say the network cut across operational, logistic, and psychological components, but battlefield coordination to messaging. According to investigators, officers A.A. Hayatu, D. Yusuf, M.A. Usman, Binuga, and A.A. Yusuf were assigned to strike at the presidential villa. Lieutenant Colonel S. Bappa was assigned to eliminate the Chief of Defense Staff. Lieutenant Colonel P. Dangnap was tasked with taking down the Chief of Army Staff. A.E. Dauda was to target the Chief of Air Staff, while Major Jidda was assigned to eliminate the commander of the Guards Brigade. Sources say this phase of the operation was designed to paralyze military response and prevent organized resistance to the takeover. Beyond Asurok and the Niger barracks, the alleged clue extended to other critical installations in Abuja. Officer D.B. Abdullahi was designated to lead the team tasked with seizing the Armed Forces of Nigeria complex. Officer S.B. Adamu was assigned to head operations to take control of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, securing entry and exit routes into the capital. The coordinated seizure of this site, investigators say, would have effectively handed operational control of the capital to the plotters within hours. The alleged conspiracy involved at least 40 suspects, including senior officers such as Brigadier General M.A. Sadiq and Colonel M.A. Maji, as well as several lieutenant colonels drawn from signals, infantry, and special forces units. Investigators say the network also included civilians positioned for support roles. Among them were Umaru Zekeri, identified as an electrician within the presidential villa, Ali Issa, an ambulance driver, and Nollywood actor Stanley Kingsley Amandi, allegedly recruited to coordinate propaganda efforts during the operation. Findings show that beyond earlier reports of assassination plans, the alleged plotters also designed a multi-layered operation aimed at taking control of Asurok and other key locations, neutralizing top military leadership, and decapitating Nigeria's command and leadership structures. Security agencies recovered a significant cache of weapons and operational assets linked to the suspects. These include gun trucks, anti-aircraft weapons, RPG bombs, machine guns, and large quantities of ammunition. They also seized dozens of vehicles, including Toyota Hilux trucks and Volkswagen Golf cars, believed to have been procured for rapid deployment and covert movement within Abuja. Sources familiar with the investigation say the scale of the recoveries indicated serious intent and preparedness, reinforcing concerns about how close the plots may have come to execution. The suspects were arrested in a covert joint operation involving Army headquarters and State Security Service. Many remain in detention, while others, particularly civilians linked to financing and logistics, are being investigated by Economic and Financial Crime Commission and the SSS. But every plan has a weakness, and this one had a leak. The whistleblower's confession triggered immediate internal alerts, intelligence coordination, surveillance of suspects. Soon, authorities confirmed that officers were holding secret meetings to destabilize the government. Then came the decisive move in late September 2025. Arrests began, 16 officers were detained, and the official explanation at first was that there was indiscipline and breach of service rules, but behind the scenes, Nigeria had just stopped a coup. Strangely, the government didn't immediately tell Nigerians the truth. At first, authorities downplayed the situation, no official confirmation of a coup. Even the Independence Day parade was cancelled with no clear explanation. Why? Because confirming a coup attempt could cause panic, shake investor confidence, expose cracks in the military units. But months later, the truth could no longer be hidden. In January 2026, Nigeria's defense headquarters finally confirmed that there was a coup plot and some officers had cases to answer. More than 30 suspects were eventually linked to the plot. Trials were prepared, military court-martials and civilians prosecutions. But the biggest question remains: why? Experts point to economic hardship, military dissatisfaction, influence of coup in West Africa, internal power struggles. West Africa has seen coups in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and history shows coup can be contagious. But Nigeria is no stranger to coup. From 1966 to 1976 to 1983, Nigeria experienced decades of military rule and only returned to democracy rule in 1999. This plot was a reminder that history can repeat itself. So, how close did Nigeria come to losing democracy? Closer than many realize. If not for one whistleblower, intelligence coordination, rapid arrest, Nigeria might have woken up to another military rule again. The plot failed, but the warning remains: power, when challenged from within, is always at its most vulnerable.